Have you ever wondered what goes on inside a man's mind when he starts falling in love? Love is a beautiful and universal experience, but the way men and women navigate the stages of love can differ significantly. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into how men fall in love and the psychological journey that takes place in a man's brain as he goes from initial attraction to deep emotional attachment. Why understanding male love. Psychology matters. Whether you're in a relationship or simply curious, understanding the male perspective on love can give you valuable insights to help you navigate your own relationships more effectively. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of how men approach love, which can lead to stronger, more fulfilling connections with the men in your life. So grab a seat and let's dive into the fascinating psychology of how men fall in love. Stages of falling in love. Let's start by exploring the different stages men go through when they fall in love. While love might seem like an emotion that hits suddenly, it actually evolves through distinct stages. According to Dr. Helen Fisher, a renowned biological anthropologist, love can be divided into three main stages: lust, attraction, and attachment. Stage 1. Lust. The first stage is lust. Now, it's important to note that lust is not the same as love. Lust is driven by hormones, primarily testosterone in men and estrogen in women. It's a basic, instinctual desire, often focused on physical attraction and the urge for sexual gratification. Lust is a natural biological response that helps humans seek out potential partners, but it's not necessarily an indicator of long-term romantic interest. In this stage, a man might notice someone's appearance and feel an immediate physical attraction, thinking, "I want to be with this person." But at this point, his feelings are primarily surface level. While lust is powerful, it's also temporary, and it doesn't mean that deeper emotions are involved just yet. Stage 2, attraction, romantic love. The second stage is attraction, also known as romantic love. This is where things start to get more serious. During the attraction stage, a man's focus and energy are directed toward one specific person. He starts thinking about them constantly, craving their company, and feeling an emotional connection that goes beyond physical attraction. This stage is driven by three key chemicals in the brain: norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. These chemicals create a powerful rush of energy and excitement. In fact, scientists often compare this stage to an addiction because it activates the brain's reward center, similar to how addictive substances like cocaine can affect the brain. That's how intense the feelings of attraction can be. For men, this stage typically lasts from 6 months to 2 years. During this time, the excitement and passion are at their peak, and the relationship feels thrilling. But as we'll see, this intense attraction isn't sustainable forever. Stage 3. Attachment. The third and final stage is attachment, which is crucial for long-term relationships. This stage is about forming a stable, lasting connection. Unlike the high-energy attraction stage, attachment is more about emotional security and companionship. After about 4 years in a relationship, the initial excitement and infatuation may start to fade, but this is where the real beauty of love begins to emerge. At this point, two hormones come into play: oxytocin and vasopressin. These hormones are often referred to as the bonding hormones because they help create a deep sense of emotional attachment and security between partners. It's important to note that attachment doesn't mean codependency. Healthy attachment is about building a life together, raising a family, and finding contentment in each other's presence. While the excitement of the early stages might fade, the sense of security and emotional intimacy can be far more rewarding in the long run. Love doesn't follow a set formula now. While these stages provide a general framework, love doesn't always follow a strict progression. Some men might move through these stages quickly, while others may take more time. And in certain situations, like arranged marriages, the process can look entirely different. In such cases, attachment may come before attraction, with love and connection developing over time. It's also worth noting that not all men will experience all three stages. Some men may only feel lust and never move on to attraction or attachment. This is often the case when a man loses interest after the initial physical attraction fades, which might explain why some relationships end suddenly, or why a man pulls away or ghosts you after a short time. Quick relationship advice for women. Before we dive deeper into the psychology of love, let me share a quick piece of relationship advice for the women watching. You might have seen videos or heard advice telling you to make a man chase you, but here's something to think about. A secure man won't engage in chasing games. If a man is truly interested in you, he will express that interest directly. However, if you start playing hard to get or engaging in manipulative behavior, a secure man will quickly lose interest and direct his attention elsewhere. A man who constantly chases you might be more interested in the thrill of the chase than in building a lasting connection. Once he wins you, he may lose interest and start seeking a new pursuit. So, if you're looking for a meaningful relationship, avoid playing games. How men actually fall in love. Now, let's get into the heart of how men actually fall in love. As I mentioned earlier, men and women experience love differently due to the different chemical processes happening in their brains. One key difference is the role of oxytocin. This hormone plays a major role in creating a sense of emotional attachment. But here's the interesting part. In the early stages of dating, a man's testosterone levels are elevated, and testosterone actually blocks the effects of oxytocin. This means that during the initial stages of dating, a man might not experience the deep emotional bonding that oxytocin promotes. However, as the relationship progresses and his testosterone levels normalize, oxytocin starts to play a bigger role. What this means is that for men, genuine love and emotional attachment take time to develop. It's not just about physical attraction. It's about building an emotional connection over time. Does physical intimacy make a man fall in love? There's a common misconception that men fall in love through physical intimacy alone. While physical attraction is important, it's not the primary driver of long-term love. In fact, having sex too early in a relationship can sometimes backfire. The phenomenon known as the Coolidge effect, where males lose interest in mating with the same female but show increased interest in new females, can come into play when sex happens too quickly. This effect, observed in animals, sometimes applies to human relationships too, and can lead to a loss of interest in the early stages of dating. That said, the Coolidge effect doesn't apply to every situation. Men can still fall in love with women they have early physical encounters with, but it's less likely if the emotional connection isn't strong. As many men will tell you, casual sex may feel good in the moment, but it doesn't satisfy the deeper emotional needs that come with love and intimacy.